Hello, my name is Jamie Irvin. I'm the host of the Heavy Duty Parts Report. Today is January 13th, 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, remember this date as something quite momentous has occurred. I just wanted to run this banner across the bottom. The U.S. Supreme Court just moments ago has issued a stay on the Biden administration's vaccine or test mandate for employers. This is a big deal. And we just got an email from the American Trucking Associations from President and Chief Executive Officer Chris Spear. And I wanted to talk about this for a couple of minutes, bring you up to date, because of course it impacts the trucking industry. It impacts the heavy duty parts industry. I know lots of the manufacturers and parts distribution companies with over 100 employees were looking at this, at how this was going to impact them. It's a momentous victory for the American Trucking Association. They are the ones who went to court, lobbied for this, and made this happen. And it's a win on behalf of trucking industry and workers alike. I wanted to just read a quote from Chris Spear. He says, "Today's ruling by the Supreme Court validates our claim that OSHA far overstepped its authority in issuing an emergency temporary standard that would interfere with the individual's private health care decisions." Spears goes on to say, "Our industry has been on the front lines throughout the pandemic." And I always say that the trucking industry is the backbone of society. So I definitely second that sentiment. And when you think about it, the trucking industry, Spears goes on to explain, that has been involved in delivering PPE, medical supplies, food, clothing, fuel, and even the very vaccines themselves. So the trucking industry is in an integral part of the rollout of all of the weapons we have against this pandemic. Chris Spear goes on to say, "Thanks to this ruling, our industry will continue to deliver critical goods as our nation recovers from the pandemic and we move our economy forward." End quote. So this definitely has an impact on all of us. And I think personally, my feeling is that, I'm definitely not anti-vax in any way, shape, or form. I'm fully vaccinated. I've been boosted, but that was a personal decision that I made. And I really respect both the US Constitution and the structure of the Canadian Constitution, so that it protects people's freedoms of choice. And as much as this is a hot button topic for so many people, and I have my personal views about whether or not everybody should get the vaccine or not, what I think is important here is that a mandate from the federal government is not being imposed on its citizens, forcing them to accept a medical procedure or a medical treatment. And that is such a slippery slope. We don't want to go down that road at all. We've seen in the 20th century, all you have to do is open up modern history to see where something like that could go. Again, I don't think that we were headed there, but it's such a slippery slope, and we don't want to open that door. We want to maintain each individual's right to be able to make choices based on their individual circumstances. And I will say, my wife and I have talked about this many times. It is not, your choice is not free of consequence. So this is a win for fighting for freedom and for people to be able to make their own choice. That doesn't mean there isn't a consequence to that choice, good, bad, or indifferent. That's the whole point of having freedom. We have freedom to make the choice. We then have to deal with the consequences of that choice. And when that consequence affects others, there's that desire to protect everyone. And this is it's such a difficult and complex issue. But I personally think that this is a good thing. And I wanted to let you know right away, if you hadn't heard already, that this had come through today. I think it's an important date in the pandemic timeline, and we will see how it will impact things moving forward. At the end of the day, let's just hope that we are moving to an endemic stage where the pandemic will end and we can return to some level of normal as 2022 carries on. But today was a day where, it's big news. I wanted to let you know. Thank you so much for watching the video, and we will talk soon. Take care.